All right, so because a lot of these globe defenders out here are actually using AI to generate their responses, the AI doesn't really fully understand how this all works. You have to remember that AIs make mistakes. You can't really argue using AI. You can make some simple arguments, but sometimes when things get a little complicated, you need to do your own research. You can't really use the AI. So I'm going to explain this wobble thing. So the wobble is essentially the Earth, the oblate spheroid is on, has its axis. It's 23.5 degrees. Now, over 26,000 years roughly, or 25,920 years, or maybe it's 5,800 and something years, this top goes around in a circle. So, and it precesses 1 degree every 72 years according to the heliocentric model. The reason they have this is because right here, this is the ecliptic plane of stars, essentially. So this is the zodiac. I should say this is the zodiac. So let's make this is the zodiac. So if that's the zodiac, if you're on Earth, let's say you're here. Now Earth is here, and right here, it is now winter. Let's say this is winter. And in winter, you're going to see the Big Dipper. Big Dipper out here. Okay, so now you got the Big Dipper out there. And then whatever stars are over here on the other side. And then you got more stars over here and more stars over here. And the stars going all the way around, right? And then up here, you're going to have your Polaris. So your Earth is pointing to Polaris, but at nighttime, you're facing the Big Dipper in the winter. Now, as you go around in orbit, by the end of the year, there's a 20-minute difference that accumulates. So that 20-minute difference means every 72 years, which isn't that much, you're going to start your orbit here, and then you're going to be off 1 degree every 72 years. So every 72 years, you're going to start the year 1 degree further. And, you know, there's lots of these. And there's 90 of these to get to 90 degrees. And after 7,200 years, you're about here at 100 degrees around your orbit, looking this way at the beginning of the year. Because what stars you see is based on the direction you're facing at night, which is away from the sun. But the problem with this is, remember, this is winter. They say even though you're closer in your elliptical orbit than you are in summer, based on the tilt of the Earth, because the Earth is tilted a specific way, the sun angles hit the Earth a specific way, and the angle that they hit the Earth at is what causes the seasons. So what needs to happen is when you're here 7,200 years later, this needs to be winter. So winter needs to slide around with it. In order to get winter to slide around with it, what they have to do is they have to create this wobble. And that's what the wobble is for. The wobble is to keep Earth aligned, so as it slides around in orbit, because it basically slides off center, slides off wherever it started because of that precession of the equinoxes. So after 13,000 years, you're here and you're looking at these stars. Okay, you're not going to see the Big Dipper anymore because it's over here, and because of that, they need this to be winter. But right now, this is summer. So if this is summer and your summer solstice is here and your winter solstice is here, but then 13,000 years later, you're here on the orbit, and you need this to be winter. So to flip-flop these, you need your wobble. And your wobble is going to change your angle so that way the sun rays still hit you. Even though you're over here, the sun rays are going to hit you now over here the same angle they had hit you over here 13,000 years ago. So the wobble was literally just inserted to explain this away. It's an ad hoc patch. It's not the same thing. They say it's the same thing or it's cause and effect, but they just don't know. The AIs, they don't know. This is what the wobble is for. The wobble is to keep the angle the same. So the wobble, the rate that the Earth wobbles has to be exactly the same as the difference between the start of each new year, which is that 20-minute difference. It's actually 21 minutes, but after 1 year, 21 minutes, 2 years, 21 minutes, 3 years, 20 minutes, on the 4th year, the 21 minutes, you have a leap year. So that extra day, where there's 3 minutes and 56 seconds of declination in one day, that one day basically sweeps away those extra minutes to make it 20 minutes, 20, 20, 20, 20 on average. Because that extra day is 1 extra degree. So 5 minutes would be, 5 days would be 5 degrees. But it's not 5 degrees, it's 20 minutes. And in one day, it's 4 minutes and 56 seconds. It's like 20% of a degree. Or whatever, 20 minutes, it takes 20 minutes to close the gap between when the year ends and when the sidereal year ends. So that's what people need to understand. There's a lot of moving parts here. And because there's a lot of moving parts here, they can't do one thing without the butterfly effect of it affecting other things. So they had to insert this wobble. If they don't insert this wobble, then after 13,000 years, you're over here in the winter looking at these background stars instead of the Big Dipper. And because of that, you'd be like, how come we're over here? And if we're tilted 23.5 degrees and always tilted at the same angle, then it can't be the angle that the sun rays hit the Earth that causes the seasons, because now we're over here. So they have to rotate the top like a spinning top in order to make the angle here 13,000 years later the same as it was here 13,000 years before. So now winter can slide over here. So winter on the orbit can slide over 20 minutes a year as the Earth slides over 20 minutes a year, because the zodiac doesn't slide in their model, because the zodiac only slides in reality. So they're trying to basically reverse engineer everything to make it all make sense. But it doesn't make sense, because it's a gravitational force on the oblate spheroid, which allegedly causes this wobble. It has nothing to do with the zodiac and the stars you're seeing at night. So how is this wobble occurring at the same exact rate, 20 minutes per year, as the zodiac? That's the most incredible coincidence in the history of coincidences, and it's down to the exact minute. That's basically impossible. Do you know how many options there are for how many minutes it per year it would take? You know, it could be 3 days, it could be 5 days, it could be 7 days, it could be 30 days, it could be 6 minutes, it could be 5 minutes, it could be 20 seconds, it could be 30 seconds, all these options, but it just happens to be 20 minutes, which is exactly what it needs to be to make sure when you're here in orbit, it's winter now, 13,000 years later. Explosively amazing coincidence. So, I hope I explained myself well. I want to make sure nobody's confused. This model is contrived. This is an inversion of reality. They've taken the observations of reality and they've turned everything inside out and told everyone they live on this ball, but they have to justify their observations that we see. And to justify them, they just make things up. And this is something they just made up, the wobble. All right, Dusty Truth, signing out. Peace.